It's here. 7 huge Social Security changes that are on the table in 2024. So these are going to be implemented, and this is as a result of HR 4583, which features 7 major changes to Social Security. Now, we're going to be discussing this particular piece of legislation, which is the Social Security 2100 Act, which will introduce these 7 huge changes if passed. Now, this again is the one that was introduced by Representative Representative Larson. And we just heard him yesterday on the Social Security birthday say that it was time for them to take action. And he said that America is tired of lip service. They need to get this done for the American people. It is not an entitlement program. He said this is something that we have earned. It's been paid into, and it needs to be like insurance. And when it's time for us to pull out, it needs to be there. Now, if you missed the video footage that I shared with you yesterday, you're going to want to check it out. But I'm going to be diving into the details of this because the Social Security 2100 Act is by far one of the pieces of legislation that has gotten the most support in Congress. So we're going to dive into the 7 of these. Now, also, one major part of this is increases across the board to all Social Security recipients, those that receive retirement, SSI, SSDI, veterans benefits, any of these that come from the Social Security Administration. You're going to want to check this out. Now, I can see that people can hear me. That is awesome. Good. I'm going to get you guys the latest. Now, as I mentioned, this came out in the past 24 hours. We are live. I had some technical issues over the past hour. I can't figure out why my video and my audio won't sync up, but I'm using the laptop video, so I apologize for the poor quality, but at least you guys can now hear me. So I'm going to give you the latest on this article that came out in the last 24 hours. And again, it is 7 huge Social Security changes that are on the table in 2024. Came out in the past 24 hours for HR 4583, aka the Social Security 2100 Act. Now it says a new Social Security reform bill, HR 4583, was reintroduced in the House of Representatives. This legislation notably includes seven huge Social Security changes, among other reforms that are on the table in 2024. So let's cover the 7 of them so that way you guys can get caught up on the latest. And again, this just came out in the past 24 hours. Now, number 1, across the board benefit increases. HR 4583, or the Social Security 2100 Act, proposes increasing Social Security benefits across the board. The amount of individuals' averages indexed monthly earnings used to calculate the benefits would increase from 90% to 93%. But we've also heard that there would be a minimum base increase, which would be 125%, if I remember correctly, of the federal poverty level, which they're saying would then bump up the minimum benefit increase by $485 per month, one of the most substantial increases that we have seen. Now, that is to the baseline. However, the Social Security Expansion Act says across the board, $200 per month increases. Let me know in the chat, which one would you prefer? The Expansion Act, which does $200 across the board, or the Social Security 2100 Act, which does $485 off of the bottom baseline. So those that are hurting the most would see the biggest bump up. Let me know which would you prefer, across the board, or those that are receiving the minimum amount getting a huge, massive bump up of about $485. Now, number 2, the second part. There's going to be changes to the COLA calculation. So currently, the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, or the CPIW, is used to calculate the Social Security Cost of Living Adjustment, or the COLA. This metric has been criticized for not accurately reflecting seniors' costs. HR 4583 would replace the CPIW with the Consumer Price Index for the elderly consumers, or the CPIE, which is designed to better capture the prices paid by seniors. This is the second thing. So the first, across the board increases. The second, cost of living adjustment calculations would be modified. Number 3, increased minimum benefits for long-term low earners. We just mentioned this. The proposed legislation would increase the minimum Social Security benefits for individuals with lower earnings who work more than 10 years, and that is by $485 per month, or 125% of the poverty line from where it currently exists. It is a massive bump up, you guys. I see there's quite a few people on. Do me a favor, if you appreciate the updates, smash the like button. We are covering 7 major changes that are going to be taking place with this piece of legislation, HR 4583, if enacted into law. And they're saying that there is a massive push for this. aka the Social Security 2100 Act, reintroduced by Representative Larson. And just yesterday, on the 88th birthday of Social Security, he made another grand stand for Congress to push this through. He said the thing that is lacking is Congress taking action for the American people. He said they're sick of it, and it's time for them to step up and to get this done. Number 3, increase the minimum benefit. We covered that one. Let's go ahead and jump to number 4. Eliminating government pension offset and windfall elimination provisions. I've seen people asking about this. Currently, this is in the Social Security 2100 Act. The government pensions offset provisions reduce Social Security spousal and survivor benefits when the beneficiary receives benefits from a pension for a government job where Social Security taxes were not paid. Also, the windfall elimination provision reduces Social Security benefits for some workers who receive pension benefits from jobs that weren't subject to the Social Security payroll tax. H.R. 4583, or the Social Security 2100 Act, would eliminate both of those provisions. So there would no longer be reductions to those individuals that are spouses or survivors. Number 5, applying payroll tax to income over $400,000. And they're saying that this would be one of the solutions that could help extend the solvency crisis that we are dealing with Social Security at this present time. Now, I've covered this for you in detail, and that is that right now, the way things stand, we're hearing that currently, according to the Congressional Budget Office, the Social Security Administration, and the reports coming out in Congress, we've got roughly 8 to 12, maybe 10 years of money that can stand for the two funds, the two separate funds that exist. One of them is about to run out and be dry, and we will only have the one remaining. Social Security, just to clarify, will not be bankrupt, but it will not have enough funds to provide out all of the distributions of the payments to recipients. And we're hearing, as a result, there will be cuts across the board by 20 to 25%. So if you collect $1,000 per month, you suddenly would only get $750 to $800. And when you ask what happened, they will simply say, sorry, we're doing this to everybody. There's nothing we can do about it. We simply don't have enough money. Now, one of the solutions to this, as we've mentioned several times here on the channel, is modifications to taxation. They're saying they have to change the way that they're going to be taxing income to help fund Social Security. Now, right now, number 5, as it says, applying the payroll tax to income over $400,000. As things stand right now, $160,200 of the annual income is subject to the payroll tax. So if you're working right now and you make less than $160,200 of annual income, 100% of your income is taxed and goes to Social Security. So all of it is taxed. Now, once you pass that threshold of $160,200, let's say that you make $200,200. Well, that $40,000 above that bracket is not taxed. 100% of it down below $160,200, they pull out whatever percentage that goes to Social Security. Everything above that is not taxed. You could make $1 million. Only the first $160,200 is taxed. You can make 10 million, 100. You can make $1 billion. Only the first $160,200 is taxed. So if you make less than that, pretty much all of your income, a percentage of it is going to be taken and it's going to be given to Social Security. So they're saying that this is unfair because they're saying that literally millionaires, people making millions of dollars a year, billionaires, they are not taxed at a higher rate, though they have more income. Everybody is taxed the same, and they're saying that this needs to change. So what the bill proposes is it would make income above $400,000 a year subject to payroll tax that would then provide additional funding to the Social Security funds. So it would be $160,200 underneath taxed, jump up to $400,000. There's a hole right here where there will be no income tax, and then everything $400,000 and above would be taxed. And they're saying that this would provide massive amounts of additional funds that could pour into the Social Security Trust Fund to provide more funding and extend the solvency. Let me know if you think that that is a good idea. That is number 5 of the 7 big changes that they're saying will be applied if the Social Security 2100 Act is passed, which we're hearing is getting the most traction out of all the pieces of legislation to reform Social Security. So again, just to recap, number 1, across the board benefit increases. Number 2, cost of living adjustment calculation changes. Number 3, minimum benefits for long-term low earners increased. Number 4, elimination of government pension offset and windfall elimination provisions. Number 5, payroll tax, applying the payroll tax to income over $400,000. Number 6, applying Social Security tax to net investment income high earners. Now, wow, let me know your thoughts on this one. Take a listen to this. The proposed legislation includes an additional 12.4% to net investment income tax for individuals who make more than $400,000 per year. So, net investment income tax on top of that as well. So, not just the earned income, but also investment income. And we've also heard some people suggest, and I'm not sure if this is the exact same one, that if you have stocks that increase in value, that you should pay on those stocks, even if it's not realized. Unrealized taxation on investment income, which is pretty incredible. The question that I have then is that if that's the case, let's say you've got stocks, you don't pull them out. As you guys know, you pay your taxes when you pull out. If they're just going to tax you on it, even though you haven't realized those gains, are they also going to compensate you if you have unrealized losses? So it gets into a little bit of a gray area there. And that is something that I think that they need to take into consideration, because taxing people on unrealized gains, that could be a very sticky area. But they're saying also about applying Social Security tax to net investment income of higher earners. And number 7, the final one, combining the Social Security trust funds. So as we mentioned here on the channel, and I know there's some confusion about this, there's 2 separate different funds. One is about to run dry, and the other one is still going to be able to fund benefits at around 75 to 80%. And that is why we're trying to figure out how to preserve the one that is about to run out. And they're saying we need more income tax for Social Security pouring in. So currently, there are 2 Social Security trust funds, the Old Age and Survivor Insurance Trust Fund and the Disability Insurance Trust Funds. HR 4583 would combine these 2 trust funds to provide more flexibility in the funding for the Social Security benefits. So they want to take the 2, combine them together, use the funds for more flexibility to extend the solvency, increase the taxation, and then they're also wanting to increase the distributions of payments, increase the benefits that go out to individuals, so that way people can have more to live on, because right now it is just simply ridiculous. And as we heard from John Larson, who is the one that is pushing this bill, it is time for them to do something for the American people. We are sick of just being pushed to the side, hearing the lip service of all this stuff. 2023 is going to be the year of Social Security reform, yet here we are in August, the middle of August, nothing has been brought to the floor for a vote. Now, if you missed that video yesterday, it's in my video section. You're going to want to see it. As yesterday, on the 88th birthday of Social Security, John Larson got up there and he said, listen, Congress needs to vote. It's time for a vote on the Social Security 2100 Act. And he said, and if you've got a better bill, bring it to the floor. We will vote on it. We'll amend it. He said, even bring Social Security Expansion Act, Bernie Sanders bill, bring it to the floor. Whatever you got, bring it. But we need to bring this to a vote. He said, it's time for us to take action. So if you missed that, check it out. Now, I shared with you how last month he had an incredible speech. A couple months before that, he had another massive, incredible speech. And just yesterday, again, as well, he let it rip. And he had actually called them out in late July and said, listen, August 14th is the birthday of Social Security. What better birthday present could we give Social Security than to give increases to all of the recipients across the board, so that way people can actually live off of Social Security and not feel like they're making a paycheck to paycheck, just barely scratching by, and the cost of living adjustment is not keeping up. So if you missed it, check it out right after this one. But you guys, pretty incredible news. And what we're hearing is the Social Security 2100 Act, or HR 4583, is getting the most traction. And they're saying these will be the 7 big changes that will come if this one gets enacted. They're saying in 2024. But we will see, because Larson's pushing it to get a vote now. Let's take care of business right now, because he says this is not a program that is what do they always call it? It's an entitlement program. He says this is a earned benefit that people have paid into, and he said it's like insurance. And when people are ready to pull from it, it needs to be there available for them to get. So let's go ahead and take a look at the comments. Wow, we've got 1,000 people on. Do me a favor, share this out. That's one of the things that we can do. He said that one of the things that we need to do is, he said, the American people need to take action. And what he said he meant by that was contact your local representatives, contact your senators, reach out to them and tell them, hey, we want Social Security reform, regardless of if it's the Expansion Act, the 2100 Act, whichever one you want. He said, let it be known. Reach out to your members of Congress, your elected officials, tell them to do what we asked them to do, which is to stand up for the American people and to vote. And also, one of the things that we can do here on the channel as a community, like this video, share it out across social media platforms, get the word out so that way people are aware of what's taking place right now in Congress. Those are some of the things that we can do. And I've shared with you guys that we have the phone numbers. We've got the addresses to all of these members of Congress. I put them out on the videos. They're in my reliefroadmap.com website where I share with you all the stimulus checks. We have access to them. We need to let them know. He's saying it's time for the American people to step up and take action and let them know it's time for us to get this done. Let's see here. I see a lot of people with comments. Do me a favor, smash the like button. If you got any questions, let me know. And again, I'll just recap as the questions roll in here that these are the 7 huge changes that are currently on the table that will likely be enacted in 2024. And that is number 1, across the board increases to benefits. That's in the 2100 Act and the Expansion Act. Number 2, change the cost of living adjustment or the COLA from CPIW to CPIE. Number 3, increase the minimum benefit for long-term low earners, and that would be a $485 increase from where it currently stands. Number 4, eliminating government pension offset and windfall elimination provisions. Number 5, applying payroll tax to income over $400,000. Number 6, applying Social Security tax to net investment incomes of high earners. And number 7, combining those Social Security trust funds so that way there's more flexibility and they're able to have this go a little bit longer. Now, as I mentioned, we will see what happens with this. There are several pieces of legislation on the table, and we will see what actually gets traction and pushed through in Congress. Now, let's see here. Just give us something about retirement, says Lynn. I see Terry is waving. Martin says we can now $10,000 for individuals, $20,000 for couples, correct? We can now $10,000 for couples. I'm not really sure what that means, Martin. They need to increase Social Security now, says Betty. Yes. Ibranchi20 says, not even a courtesy reach around. Janice Wagner says, no more time off or pay until they get the American people more money. Janice, I like that one. How about we tell them you get into a room, you have a conference, don't come out until you have a solution. We'll order you pizza. You can go ahead and camp out, take as long as you need, figure this thing out. Don't come out until you get it done. That would be, I think, a great idea. I recommend that highly. Let's lock them in the door, chain it up. Don't come out until you got a solution. What do you think? Congress should have to live on what they want citizens to live on, says Richard Jones. Great suggestion. You have to keep in mind that if we get an increase, where will the money come from? Exactly, Ilya Church. Great suggestion. Great point. That if we increase the distributions, they've got to figure out a way to also increase the funds coming in. Let's see here. Remove taxes from classic Sonic gaming. That's a big one. That is a big one. They're talking about removing the taxation for people as they withdraw. They say double taxation is not fair, that we pay. I see Ibranchi is saying that too. We pay our income tax for Social Security, and then when you pull it, they're taxing us as well. And they're saying it's just not fair. Somebody says, what kind of pizza, says Terry Rose? I say we give them something that they won't like, so that way they'll be in a hurry and focused on getting done with Social Security. We'll get them some cheap, gross pizza. Ibranchi says, stop double taxation. Yes. $200 plus the cost of living increase would make a huge difference, says Dreaming in Color. Yeah, the cost of living adjustment and $200 per month increase across the board. That's the Expansion Act. Politicians voted for no limits on the debt. They can write a check for anything and then not fully fund Social Security and they're funding Ukraine. Yeah, Timothy Blackman, Republicans will stop it. Poor folks might get ahead. Seriously. Timothy Blackman, well, we've got some bipartisan agreement to reform it, But yeah, we'll see what they decide. The pizza is for the Congress, says Arlene. Cold pizza with bugs and mice milk. Man, let's see here. Are they going to sign the 2800 into law, SSI? 2800 into law, SSI. Gaines, not sure which one you're referring to. Let me know specifically what you're talking about there for the 2800 into law. Thanks for your help, says Tom. You guys are very welcome. Steve, SSI people need help. My daughter needs help. Yes, there's a lot of people. There's 70 million Americans that collect Social Security, retirement, SSI, SSDI, all of these things, survivors, disability, they need help. Let's see here. Stop all payments overseas, says Just Fred. You know, it's good to take care of your people, not forget about your people. Somebody said pizza with extra anchovies. Yeah, that would be good. Oh man, one time I went on a cruise and my wife wasn't feeling too well. As soon as we got on the boat, I got some pizza and to see if that would help her, like, you know, feel better. And I took a bite and it had anchovies on it, and I didn't know. And I was like, oh, what is this? And it was like fuzzy and just tasted fit. It was gross. It was awful. I would definitely say give Congress anchovy pizza. They will focus on getting Social Security done. Like, we lock them in a room and the only thing we feed them is anchovy pizza. I think that would be good. Let's see here. No taxes ever, says Derek. Yeah, the taxation is pretty insane. When is it going into law, says Gaines. Great question. That is exactly what we were talking about yesterday. If you missed the video, Larson said, we need to vote on this. Enough of the talk. Let's get this into law. Let's take action. We got to vote on this, push this piece of legislation, this bill through, so that way we can get this done. Everyone in the White House should have a taste of reality and see how we live, and then we can nearly make it on these fixed incomes. They need to have it be in our shoes, says Classic Sonic. Great idea. I believe it when I see it, the money, says Kathy. Yeah, we'll see when they finally take action. But these are the 7 things that they're saying will finally take place, and the 2100 Act is here. It's getting pushed, but we'll see if it gets through. They're calling for a vote. Congress has been in the Social Security program since 1984. They have not. Yeah, you're correct. It's been decades since they made modifications. Hi, Steve. Just tuned in. What did I miss, Terry? So we're talking about 7 huge changes that are currently on the table in 2024 with HR 4583, if it goes through, which is the bill that is getting the most traction, which is the Social Security 2100 Act. And yesterday, Larson said, we have got to take this up for a vote. And also, too, yes, take a look at the videos I did. I did a live and I did a video on the double taxation. That is coming up big right now. They're talking about we've got to get rid of the double taxation, that it is not okay. Sausage and pineapple pizza. I actually don't mind sausage and pineapple on the pizza. But the anchovies, oh man, I had a rough time. Dove Eyes says, thumbs up for Steve. Thank you. I appreciate it. Smash the like button if you appreciate the updates. Hit subscribe to stay up to date. I'll let you guys know about everything going on with Social Security. Shout out to my daughter Asia, who is having a Ninja Turtle pizza now. Laughing out loud, says Gaines. Ninja Turtle pizza. You know, my son really likes the Ninja Turtles. And then we also, but the thing is, like, some of them are like, I don't know, it was like too violent or whatever. But I used to watch Ninja Turtles when I was little too. And I actually got in trouble one time when I was little because, you know, you just hear things in the cartoon and you just repeat them, but you don't know what they actually mean. I mean, you're like little. So I think it was like Michelangelo or one of the turtles was saying, like, give me a break or something to somebody. And so then, like, I didn't know what it means. And then my mom is telling me something. I can't remember what it was. And I told her to give me a break. And then, yeah, that did not go over well. So, but we like watching Superbook. Oh, if you guys have not watched Superbook, Superbook is so cool. I'll watch that cartoon myself without the kids. Superbook is amazing. That's one of my favorite cartoons right now. It's like Bible stories, but it's in cartoon form. But it is by far the best one I've ever seen. If you haven't checked out Superbook, you're going to want to check them out. Steve, you are the man with the Social Security plan. Thank you, says Terry Sims. You are welcome. Michael Arnold says, keep dreaming. We will see, Michael. Social Security 2100 Act is the one that's getting the most progress. Let's see here. However, I doubt the requirements for Congress is the same for us. Thanks, Steve. She's smiling, says Gaines. I'm glad to hear that, Gaines. Awesome. Awesome. Let's see here. I contacted my senator, my congressman today, and everyone on this chat must do the same, says Robin. Yeah, contact him, let him know. We vote these people in so that we need to put pressure on them to do the right thing. Love it, Robin Wade. Love it. Hey, Steve, have a good day. You too, Thomas. You are just one nice guy. Thank you, Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate the kind words. Change it. Give us. Did you change it? Give us a raise on Social Security, says Ricardo. We will see when they take action on this. I will let you know. I will absolutely let you know. Let's see here. You're not talking about nothing. I'm a YouTube moderator. Why, says VWO. Or I don't know. I'm just sharing with you guys the latest news. VWO, are you my YouTube moderator? Okay. Well, nice to meet you. Steve, do you have hats made with your name? Oh, Gaines, I'm going to do just that. So I'm actually, yeah, I've got, I don't know if you guys know this. I've got a couple businesses. I flip houses. So I'm going to get Steve Ram home buyers. I also help people with flipping houses and YouTube. And there's been a lot of people from my church asking me, Steve, how do you do this stuff? So I've started a new business called the Ram Method. I'm going to get a hat like that. And I'm just going to get one with my name on it too, like Steve Ram. So yeah, because I'm just giving free advertisement to Hurley here. But I've got to get some of my own hats going on here. And I don't know if anybody would be interested. Like, is that what you're asking, Gaines? If you want a hat, I could do that. I just wasn't sure if anybody would want a hat with my name or my business on it. I was just going to get them for myself. But if you guys want, I could do that. Totally could do that. Get some hats. Maybe we could just put like Ram Fam or something cool, or like Social Security increase or something. I don't know. Take care of our vets or are retired. I don't know. That would be super cool. Super cool. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, I see that a lot of people are hopping on here and just vocalizing the disapproval of Congress, their lack of action. Annette says, hey, where do you flip houses? So I used to flip houses. I used to live in California. I flipped in Ohio, Missouri. Now I'm here in Houston, Texas. I flip houses all across Houston. It's an amazing blessing and business that I came across. And that's why I'm able to do YouTube, because YouTube and house flipping, I was able to quit my 9-to-5 job. And now I just focus on helping people with information and flipping houses and helping people get better living areas and stuff, better living conditions for these homes. Because, man, some of the houses I get are insane. You would not believe it. Every house I buy, almost, the neighbors come and they thank me for buying it and fixing it up, because they say it's always the house that's a drag. Terry says, flip the White House. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's flip the White House, man. We can do that next year. We'll see. Yes, all Congress pays should be cut by 80%. Have a great evening, Steve. You guys, you know what? You have a great evening too. Do me a favor. Thank you guys for joining. You guys are awesome. Smash the like button. I will keep you up to date on everything. This article just came out in the past 24 hours of 7 huge Social Security changes that are currently on the table in 2024. As more comes out, taxation, increases, the CPIE, the CPIW, all of this stuff, I'll keep you guys up to date and let you know. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. You guys have a blessed evening, and I'll catch you in the next video tomorrow. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.